is. So there's sheets that we've gotten from corporate that I'm involved with, and we call it the winning day. And usually from gold and above is where it's like, okay, I'm a leader. I really want this to be my business to work. I mean, even before then you can have that, but it's really at gold when you're like, it's on more than anything. And so they have a winning day sheet, and we kind of follow those things and work on that together. And so our winning day is kind of what we've been doing on Tuesdays and whatnot every single day. And so if that's something that you would like, if you're like, you know what, I would love to have a sheet to kind of follow and kind of see like, what does it look like, in the life of what you guys do every single day, then we are happy to share that with you. I have even a smaller version, and I can send that to our silver thread or whatnot again. But I really liked, so every Tuesday I get a call with corporate, and they kind of dive into good training and whatnot. So on Tuesday nights, I come in and kind of pour back into it. So know that it is whatever comes. It might be like a knock in the face, but it's not for me. It's more of like, this is what's happening. And if you want your business to grow, and if you want to exceed in this, then you got to go through some tough times or something that you might not want to hear to be able to grow and to get better and move forward. And so today she was talking about that really hit me was like, when in your career ever can you just only work an hour and get paid well? Like when? Or like just showing up for an hour and getting paid well. She's like, this winning day, if you're doing it correctly, should take you a good 2.5 hours. She's like, still 2.5 hours getting paid with what we're getting paid is incredible. Okay, Shara, I see your hand up. Go for it.
I didn't want to interrupt.
No, go.
I am sorry. I forgot this was winning day, but I have somebody on my team that wants to come too. And I'm like,
no, it's
oh, wait, good. I started plastering our team out there because I feel like this is beginning of the month and we should be grabbing everybody that wants to hit goals and maybe do like vision and stuff. And I am so sorry.
No. We are. Trust me. It's going to be a good mix of both. And I'm glad that you did, because I still think it's powerful to hear some of the stuff that we're going to talk about and then vision cast, because we've got to talk about the nitty gritty stuff of what it looks like in the workload of Plexus. Like it can be good, bad, or whatnot, because then once you have that, you can vision cast, you can map, and you can say, okay, this is what I want my May to look like. So no, you are fine. It's totally fine. I promise.
Okay. And then I'm going to, go tell, because my new girl is like, how do I get on? And I'm like, and then you start talking winning day. I'm like, oh.
No. Go tell her.
So,
you're good.
Okay.
You're good. Okay. Because so here in the life of what this kind of looks like is, here it is. So for instance, I'm going to break down every single one. Actually, I can share my screen. That might be a lot easier and quicker than trying to just read it to you guys. So you can see visually and see kind of what it looks like to move forward in this, because we can all find 3 people and go silver, right? Most of us can. We can move forward to that. We love our products and we want to help people, or we want to just get our products paid for. And that is still completely fine. But if you have already seen the fire and excitement of the community that we have, then you want to possibly go more. This is kind of what we do on a daily basis. If not, well, not daily. Nobody works 24 hours, right? We do 5 days on and 2 days off. So you're working your 5 days and you take your 2 days off to make it simple, because we don't want to overload. We don't want to burn out. We don't want to do any of that. And that's not the way that we want to work. So I'm going to show you, and I sent it in our silver thread a long time ago, but I'm going to reshare it now and show you kind of what that looks like. But it's 15-minute increments, and then some are like an hour, because some of those follow-ups and things of that nature can take more. And so you just want to spend a little bit more time in that. And I'm not seeing how, apparently, I guess on my laptop, I can't find, it's fine. Maybe I won't be able to share it like I was praying. Or, let me do it this way. Okay, so I'm going to ask the people really quick while I'm grabbing this, the people that have been doing the winning day since we've started it, tell us what you have liked about it and what have you seen in growth in your business because of it?
I like having something to check off because it gives me an idea, especially being newer. I'm not always going to be able to utilize that statement, but being newer, it gave me something to know what I was supposed to be doing and something that I knew I was going to be moving towards my goal of sharing with as many people as possible. But it also helped me remember different things that may not sit in the forefront of my mind, like my follow-ups, like making sure people are doing okay and making sure to connect with people, looking back over with people that have maybe connected with me that I forgot about, like things like that. So that was very helpful. That has been very helpful.
I agree with Julia. It gives me something to kind of check off. But it also makes me do the scary things because I don't like doing lives. I don't, those things scare me. They scare me. Reaching out to people about the business scares me. So it makes me do those scary things.
Not to mention the accountability that we get from you, because we have to answer to you.
I feel like that, I know for me, that's always been key for me. If I don't have somebody to check into, I'm not going to show up to the gym. If I don't have somebody to check into to make sure, my eating is better. Like if I did hire a new, like in on my seasons, we have done things that we needed that extra accountability. And that is what I know I've seen the most fruit from when I have to respond to somebody else. And I know that sounds crazy because in this job, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want with your job. It's a job with what you do here and what Plexus has to offer. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to follow anything I tell you. You can go and run your own thing, but it is nice to have that extra accountability and be like, I like that. Okay, yes, I can start applying those things and whatnot. So, okay, who else? Or Patricia, do you have anything on what you've liked about it?
The accountability makes you it pushes you. So I know I don't think I've completed one. Sorry, but I have not completed one, but I've done okay, you know what, today I reached out, or today I followed up, today I did a post, so that type of thing. So it does help you, kind of just kind of follow a guideline. Just not necessarily, like you said, I should be doing all of it. I did do a reel today though. Wasn't happy with it, but I did a reel.
But you did
so
it.
But I did it.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Patricia,
That's
I did
why
one last week. Oh, sorry. Sure. I did one last week I was so excited about, and it was like perfect, at least from what I could see. And then I posted it in my stupid, I put a graphic down at the bottom at the very beginning, and it was only supposed to be there for like a few seconds. And it was there the whole way through, and it blocked all of my other graphics. And I was like, dang it. I was so mad. But anyways, I did it. I still posted it.
That is why I was late to the leaders of the round table just a minute ago, because I was doing a reel and then it pops up. I was like, oh, I gotta go do that. Also on the winning day thing, kind of like Cassie said, we don't have to do what she says. We don't have to do, this is our business. But it helps us again with accountability. But it made me also think of when I went to school online. So you have some schools online where it's at your own pace. For me, I don't think so, because if it was at my own pace, I'd be like, oh, I could put that off. I can do that later. It would take me 5 years to do a 2-year program because I will procrastinate and do that. And I feel like with the winning day, it helps me stay on track. I can keep on track. I know what I need to do, and I need to do it today. I can't push that back if I don't want to. I mean, I could, but if I have goals that I want to hit. So if I want to hit those, then that gives me something to do. But it reminds me of that. And that's why I had to go with a school that was I had to hit. I love deadlines. I'm a weirdo. I love deadlines. I've got to have those. It makes me feel accomplished. And so the winning day, when I get done, I'm like, woo, I'm done. And if I don't do it, if I miss one thing, I'm like, I'm like, I can do better tomorrow. But I really enjoy it.
I think too, one of the things that you kind of hit on, Shara, is it's something that is, I mean, like we said, it's something that's nice to have like a check off, but especially when you're just starting I feel like sometimes it can be intimidating. And so it's one of those things that you can also use as a goal. I mean, honestly, and say, eventually I can get to where I'm doing all of this, or check off, oh, okay, well, I did that today. That was a first for me. You know what I mean? So I think it's definitely something that you can use as a goal tool also.
Oh, for sure. And that's why I'm going to break this down. So a lot of you that are newer that are like, what the heck are you talking about? Well, I'm not talking about my laptop that really needs cleaned up, but I'm going to talk about the winning day. So it really breaks down. I mean, how many times are we scrolling and we're watching reels or who knows what, and it's been like an hour, right? And we're like, oh my gosh. So this really breaks down some of those things that you could be doing that is more income producing so that you actually see fruit from what you're doing versus just mindlessly scrolling. Okay. 15 minutes of getting social. What does that look like? So that is sowing seeds. It's warming up your algorithm, engaging with people that you maybe forgot about or don't talk too much or whatever. So really set a 15-minute timer. You go in and you're like, oh, I forgot Sally. And like, how are you, friend? And comment maybe on their recent post or things like that. It's literally just commenting and engaging again. And same, the other thing was like hashtags. And if you don't know a lot about hashtags, I can kind of tell you a little bit more about that. So on Instagram, you can follow hashtags. And so if you find one that's like, get outside more, and you're following all the ones that say get outside more, you're probably going to find more people that want to be outside. And so you'll see everybody's posts that use that hashtag. Well, you can follow it. There's just a blue button on Instagram. You hit follow and you'll get everybody that posts and use that hashtag. And what you can do is start commenting in those posts. And if, let's say, Joya is posting one, she's working outside and whatever, and there's something that strikes me, maybe she has a dog with her or something. I'm like, oh, your dog's so cute. How long have you had it? I'm just engaging. I'm just commenting on somebody else's post that I have no idea who they are, but I might see something that I'm like, that would be really cool to get to know Joya and really start thinking in that kind of terms too. And so just engagement is getting social again, 15 minutes. And then 15 minutes or more of adding value. Adding value is more of like, what do you have to offer? What gifts did God give you that you could offer to somebody else? So like the lives that we've been doing. Genevieve was talking about today, like, she's like, I pray that when you're adding value or you're doing a live, it's not always plexus, because we all need to know that you can add value with not even touching plexus. It is like, what do you have to offer that other people would love to learn from? And one of the girls on there was just like, I don't have anything. I just like to cook. And she was an older woman and it was so cute. And they were like, well, what's the last thing that you did? She's like, green fried tomatoes. Her accent was adorable. And so Genevieve was like, how many people would love to see her fry green fried tomatoes? And everybody was like, yeah, that'd be cool to watch, right? And so something just as simple as that can be, what can you have to offer that maybe some of us that, let's say you have people in your thing that love to watch baking or love to watch, I don't know, any tips that you have on how to keep food fresher or who knows what. I mean, I've definitely been following where you can put an avocado and water in a refrigerator. And I'm like, what? You could do that and it lasts for 2 weeks. I had no idea. Anyway.
I did a reel today just because I've had multiple people ask me, they didn't realize you could roast beets. And so I did a hyper video where it showed us cutting them up and how to do it all. Like I did a reel using that today, just because multiple people have been like, how do you cook beets? Like I've never tried to roast beets before. So just, I mean, simple, super easy things.
Yeah. And it's stuff like that. Like I get asked all the time, like, how do you make your kale chips? They taste so good. And I'm like, it is the easiest thing ever. Or how do you make your Brussels sprouts taste so good? Or your green beans? And I'm like, good seasoning and like crisping them up to where they're almost burnt. I don't know. But it's little things like that that most people are like, can you please show that? And so adding value can look like that. That's what that looks like. What's a bonus reel or a bonus post that you can do that's adding value outside of Plexus? Because that's where we want to do. We want to entertain. We want to inspire people. I mean, when you see this down here, it's mainly, these are ideas for you. So if you're ever like, what is adding value again? It's there. So you can kind of get ideas from that and posting in your stories and like, hey, we went on a walk today and da, da, da. Next is 15 minutes. Again, 15, 15, 15. It's super simple. And then 15 minutes of connecting with one person that you would like to work with and messaging them about the vision of the extra income. And you're like, you probably had a heart attack right now. I get it. But all of you wouldn't be on here if somebody wasn't brave enough to tell you about the extra income or to tell you and reach out to you about the products. None of y'all would be here. And so I know your heart might be racing when you think about that, but think about the possibility or the community that they might be reaching out or needing and praying about, because you've reached out. Now they're going to be a part of. So this is literally, you could say like, Shara, have you ever thought about looking into kind of what I do? I would love to share it with you because I see you as, a positive light, and I see you're so detail oriented and you love goals and da, da, da. Would you ever be open to hearing more of what I do? Something simple like that. And all they can say is yes or no. Right. And one of my favorite books, and it's been a while, it's probably a good one to do again, is Get Over Your Darn Self. And it really is truly about that. We're making everything that we do about other people, not about us. Like, yes, we have goals, we have dreams and ambitions and things, but if we make that our primary focus, everybody's going to feel that. And so we have to make sure when we're doing this, it's all about what other people, what they're going through, what their journey is, and how can we influence them and help them on this journey. So there's 15 minutes of building that person up, reaching out to messages and, and going for the business more, things like that. And then 15 to 30 minutes of follow-up, because we know we need to have great customer care. I always tell our team, we need cherry on top. What can you do extra that you can provide your customers that nobody else would ever do? I always think about things where you have been in a business or you went somewhere and they went above and beyond and that stood out to you. That's what you can do differently here. Like, what can you do above and beyond? Well, that can mean sending a handwritten card of like, thank you so much for ordering the last 2 months. I'm so proud of you and keep going, just wait until you see what the next 6 months can do. Things like that. Those little extra touches really mean a lot. You could even send them a sample of what they don't already have. Be like, hey, I just wanted to have you try some Hydrate. I think you're really going to enjoy it, especially with summer coming up. Or maybe you have track or whatever that you're getting involved with. And then, so really it's all that. Maybe it is somebody just tried a product or, these calls like this, and you're like, hey, did you watch the Why Plexus call yesterday? I thought it was powerful. I wanted to see what was your favorite. Remembering those things. We always want to invite people to the next event, the next thing that Plexus has to offer. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to create anything. Plexus seriously does it all. We have book club every single month. You don't have to do another book club. You can apply and, do those things that Plexus has to offer. The one thing that I really liked that she had said today was, so again, about 2.5 hours of work, give or take. And she talked about what? Okay, I'm sorry. I need to have all my notes. Okay, so I can see everything now. So another thing that she had talked about was really diving in. So that stuff right there, think of it. And we talked about it on our last calls of like, could you imagine getting on an airplane? The captain's like, hey, I don't know if we're going to make it to Hawaii. There's the ocean across the way, and we might we might fly across like and get hurt or whatnot because I forgot my checklist, I forgot my binder, or I forgot to get it done. And we're just, I mean, I know what to do. We're just going to make it. And no, you'd rather have a very confident airplane pilot captain that is checking everything off, that's double checking, even though he's done it 100 times or maybe even 10 times that day, he's still checking to make sure, yep, that green light's on. Yep, I've done that. Yep, I've done that. And that's kind of what this winning day looks like. That's what we're doing. It can be repetitive. And we're like, yes, I did that. Yes, I posted today. Yes, I did my stories. But that's what this kind of looks like so that we can add value to other people. Oh, she talked about another thing. If you don't know how to add value to other people, she said she grabbed, so Rory Vaden, the one that did the last book study, the Taking the Stairs. If y'all have not watched that call, I'm telling you, go back. I've rewatched it twice. I'll probably keep rewatching it from here on out. It is incredible. And she actually even talked about how most times we need to read a book. And I had not heard this yet. So you're hearing it for the first time for me too, that most people need to read a book 7 times to truly understand what they're reading. 7 times. And I was like, I might have read a book twice because I've been in this business for so long. It's like, oh yeah, we're doing that book study again. Okay, great. But 7 times really it impacts. And that's where you're going to get the most benefit, because most time it's like you hear something, it's like, oh, great. And then you might forget, like, what was that line again? Or what did Rory say that was so powerful about buffaloes or about cows or whatever he talked about? 7 times. So think about that. Like, think about powerful books that you've read and try to read them again and read them again and read them again. It doesn't have to be over and over. It's just listening in the car. She said, it's not one of those things where you're going to be sitting down here for 2 hours and be like, okay, the 7th time, here I go. She's like, no, when you're taking a shower, listen, when you're in the car, listen, whatever, do those small things that are mundane and you can listen to those, like doing laundry. She said that's when you get the most impact, when you hear it 7 times. This is the same as when we talk to people. How many times did somebody tell you about plexus? Was it 1 time? Probably not, right? I know for me, it wasn't. It was probably 100 times that I got asked about plexus. It was not the first time. And it's because we all had to hear it again. And it was confirmation that, yes, okay, this is going to be the next thing, the next step. Same with the book. Find a book and keep reading it, and maybe alternate it. Maybe do 1 book 1 month, another book the next, and then go back to the other one, go back to the next, you know what I mean? And vice versa. There is a book study or book club this month. I know Jessica Heffley is offering one, and I've done that one a long time ago. It is really good. It's the millionaire, halftime millionaire something. I mean, I've got all my books here.
I think it's Halftime Millionaire. I think that's right.
Something like that, but it's a really great one. And that was one that we read in the beginning of when I first started. So if you want to do that book study with Jessica Heffley, highly recommend it. If you
have is that the one she just did recently?
No, this is different. This one I feel like is just a good personal development. And even Genevieve said every single day we need to be doing some kind of personal development outside of winning day. So if you want to keep growing your business, the extra pretty much cherry on top is what I would call it for our team is, Millionaire by Halftime. I knew it was close. Thank you. Is adding that extra 30 minutes of a podcast or 30 minutes of listening to Rory Vaden on Taking the Stairs, 30 minutes of a motivational video that you're listening to. She said, don't get me wrong, Bible and, podcasts that are scriptural or spiritual and things. She's like, it can be personal development, but that is not going to be personal development that you need to be doing. You need to be listening to something that's not spiritual as much as in personal development. And I took that, I was like, oh, okay. Because sometimes when I listen to, or I do my Bible studies or whatever in the morning, it does lift me up spiritually, but it's yes, it might help me in my business, but I need to also add 30 minutes of listening to something that's going to impact a next tip or a next thing that's going to move my business the next, path.
So you're saying you do both?
Do both. Mm-hmm. I mean, I do. Not everybody needs to do what I do. I've been trying to do little 5. I have the first 5 app, and I do the first 5 app every single morning. I've been trying to do better. Thank you, Julia, for hitting me this morning. She's like, have you? I'm like, no. And so those things are great to start my day with, because it really just sets the mood and the tone. So that's just what I do for my spiritual development. But then I also try to add in a podcast or whatever. And if you need help with podcasts or any of that, let us know. We can tell you exactly which ones are going to be good to listen to, which ones I would be like, steer away from those or whatnot, because there are some that are going to not take you on the path that might be the best for what we do and what we have to offer and what Plexus has to offer. Okay. She said this quote, and it says, don't let your fear of failing be getting in the way of you making progress. So she's like, nobody gets to use that excuse anymore. You can do it for the reason that you are in it for the long term. She said, keep the ideas coming. Think of things that you can do for your business. Keep moving forward. And if you think you're the only person, like she asked, pretty much, she was like, okay, who still has questions of this? And I'm going to open that up to y'all, because she's like, if you think you're the only person that's probably thinking that, you're probably wrong. Somebody's going to have a question and be like, we had somebody on there that was like, how do I follow a hashtag? Y'all, these were diamonds and emeralds, and sapphires that still don't know how to follow a hashtag. It is okay to not know, no matter where you're at in this business. So I want to know, do you have any questions about what this winning day looks like? Because we want you to move into that, or move into posting or whatever it looks like for you in a very authentic, real way. And if you have questions on that, we want to be able to help you. So
I will say, I still don't understand the groups on Facebook.
Like what?
I can find a group to save my life. I mean, I could find our groups, but like finding groups on Facebook to like just kind of learn from and glean from, like, I don't know. I have no idea. Like that it confuses me. Maybe it gives me too many options. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like there's groups for everything anymore, and that's probably where it looks flooded. So
do you just type in like something in the search?
Yeah, I usually
it brings up groups.
Yeah, usually I'll type in, and especially if I'm trying to find some of the groups that I'm in, I'm like, what was that? Like, I'm just going to say depuff, depuff. And then like hundreds of other depuffs come up. But because I've been to ours most recently, it'll be the like top 2 or 3. But usually I'll type in, like, you could do moms on the run or workout mama or whatever. And then that'll kind of, feed into what you might want to know about, or who you want to get plugged into or learn from or glean from. But yeah, I normally just type in that search engine, and that's where I find some. Like, I'm in a natural group that's a lot more natural things that you can do for your body or for, anything. Who else? And it's okay if you don't have questions. I just want to make sure that this winning day, if this is something that you're like, Cassie, I would love to have a check sheet, checklist, something that I can follow. And you don't have to hit every single thing. A lot of us, because we have a bigger goal in mind, that's why we want to kind of hit on this and move forward. And we're like, okay, every single day for 5 days, we're going to be doing these little bitty steps and setting those timers and moving forward. And then we have a group chat and we check in, or you can have your sponsor be like, okay, I'm going to check in with you every day and making sure that you're getting a post out or whatever that looks like for you. It is okay.
Are you going to reshare that list, Cassie?
Yep, I sure can.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep, don't worry about it. And I'm proud of you you and Cindy going live already. Like, you have no idea how terrified I was when lives weren't available when I started. And like I tell people, and I think some are probably surprised at my response, but I had to do a book study and I had to post my review like my chapters and what I read and what I thought about those chapters, I cried when I hit post, and I kept thinking I wanted to delete it because I was afraid of what my team, my 3 or 4 people, were going to think of me, and if I wasn't a good enough leader or not, and how they would critique me on my book study that I did. And I was terrified. So no, nobody is alone on that and thinking, gosh, I just did a live. I'm worried. The more you do it, the more you're like, psh, whatever.
I was so nervous.
Oh yeah.
You did good.
You did awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it was short and sweet. It was to the point. You talked about the products. I loved that because I feel like most people don't realize Plexus has more to offer than what they think. And, you going on there and validating, like, this is for gastrointestinal stuff. This is going to help your tummy, just little things like that. People gain a lot of value from. So.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You are welcome.
Yeah, you definitely did not seem scared
Nope.
at all. You were great. One question, I guess I kind of have on the winning day is it says on there to share your stories about your day. I a lot of the times I don't take
You don't have
pictures
a
every
day?
day or
Yeah.
I don't do that. So I try to post, either a testimony or I'll go through and find something that I haven't posted yet about my kids or, something like that. That's okay, right?
Yeah, that's fine. I think
Okay.
the biggest thing that I really have enjoyed, and I need to keep doing it and remembering to do it, is that most people don't realize how we use our products. So even that, you can start taking a video of you taking your nightly, regimen, or you mixing your slim with music in the background. Little things like that are part of your day. And so it doesn't have to look like you went on a walk and you XYZ. It could literally be taking your products.
Unfortunately, most of mine I mix up at work and I'm not allowed to video.
Oh.
Yeah, because if I get anything I'm working on at my desk online, I could be like fired.
Yeah.
Because I do military type stuff too.
Yeah.
I did do my reel at work.
Oh.
It was on my desk. I tried to pick a part that wasn't like, I wasn't showing
your work,
my mess. I wasn't showing all my boxes I have right now, but it was my desk and you could see my filing cabinet in the background, but I just kind of did it really fast. I tried to stay down and to clear it off.
Hey,
that's what I do when I take my pictures while I'm at work. I'm like trying to turn my body to where there's nothing really showing, try to have my drink close, but I can just usually do a quick picture like that. And I try to make sure it's on the setting where the background's kind of blurred, which if I do it at a certain angle, you don't see anything, but I get scared about even trying to do that.
Well, then this is where you plan ahead. And that's where, which one was that? I mean, you could get it to where it's even in your, making a post where it's the 15 minutes. You can honestly get several days worth and batch a lot of those of you mixing them on the weekend. And so you have several videos to use in your stories of you mixing your collagen, mixing your slim or mixology and trying to mix them all together. And just showcasing that. So then you have the video ready for you for Monday or for Tuesday. And really, you could probably reshare them every other week and nobody's going to notice. Like, didn't I see that video? No. So that's another nice thing that I have enjoyed because I've been doing this for so long. I can actually go to my memories and kind of recreate some of the posts that I did years ago. I'm like, that's a good one. Oh, click, redo it. And post it right back up. And so the more that you're posting now, you're actually going to help your future. And you're going to see how your posts have grown since you have done them. That's one big thing. I look at my first brand new post, like my first post when I first started. And it's like, oh man, I really didn't talk as much as I do now. I feel like in my posts, they were like short and sweet, like, which is what I'm teaching y'all because it's still powerful. I like short and sweet posts. All of us do. I just tend to not be able to do them as much, but it was like getting my laundry done with my favorite new drink. I mean, super simple stuff like that. But yeah, your stories batch, we call them batching. Batching means you can start thinking about your future posts, your future stories, and get everything as much as you can done in an hour. So you don't have to think about it the rest of the week too. So any other questions on that? And then I have a few more things.
And you did say for those of us that are kind of new for the business reach outs, because on there it says 3, that
Right.
we don't have to do the 3 as long as we do 1, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure I'm not cheating.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. And when we first started doing this, I had said that 3 is even hard for me to do. And so for us, that's more of a jewel status. They really want, like, if we want to keep growing and widening our network, then we really need to start thinking, because by where we're at, we should be adding new people. We should be experiencing new things, like people from the gym. She said, when you're out and about, it is so simple of like, when I'm connecting with, Jen or Cindy or whoever, be like, oh, girl, are you on social? I would love to stay connected. And I did that with a girl in Oklahoma at a gas station, and we still are connected. And from literally meeting, I saw she had 2 daughters, and I saw that she met her mother that was from Missouri, and they met at this gas station. We happened to be there. Small talk, found out they homeschooled, and I'm like, girl, are you on Facebook? Would love to connect, because obviously this is kind of weird and kind of awesome. And so I still have her to this day. She's not taking the products yet, or she's not wanting the business yet, but who knows? We don't know what that interaction could lead to. And so just being brave enough to be like, hey, are you on social? And starting that conversation that way and keeping it going. And that's where you build. So when you are where I'm at, it's a little bit easier, not a lot, a little bit easier to find people to have those conversations with. But yeah, one business reach out is key of trying to be like, and that business reach out it can even be, hey, Julia, have you ever, like, I don't ever want finances to get in the way of your health journey. I would love to be able to show you and help you get your products paid for. Is that something that you'd be open to learning about, or open to me sharing it with you about? It can lead into that. That can even be one. Obviously you want, because you never know where that, all of us started as products, right? We all started as we never wanted the business. I never did. And so you never know where that's going to lead off. So that can potentially lead to a business as well. So I will count that for you guys. So know that when you are talking about those things and helping people get their products paid for, that is still in a way a business reach out. So count that. And for like Shara and Julia or any of y'all that have even longer, wider teams now, it can be, let's say that their sponsor fell off and now you're like, whoa, Cindy's all by herself. Like, I need to make sure that I'm checking in on Cindy and loving on her and seeing how she's doing. And that you help her in that scenario. And that might be a business reach out, as long as it's your team or somebody outside new. Because if you keep reaching out to your team, you're not going to ever keep growing. So, okay. Any other questions really fast? And it's okay. Nothing stupid to ask. I'm telling you, if you have questions. Okay. Going once, going twice. I'm just kidding. Okay. So the next thing is May. Here we go. We are in May. It's May 3rd. We have an amazing new month with wonderful, wonderful things that Plexus is providing, because they keep providing. They just are incredible. So you have more business building bonuses. That just means when you add somebody, they're giving you more money, pretty much. You're getting more money this month with doing that. And then anybody that orders is getting a bag of Slim Active, and it's Starfruit Guava Active. And so know that when those are going out, it's Starfruit Guava. So they get a bag of Active for any order this month. So what that looks like is and I know some people are like, well, I don't have goals. I'm terrified of what a goal looks like, or I'm afraid of failing because I don't set goals that way. if you are afraid of failing and you don't set goals, then you're never ever going to move in life if you are always afraid. So know that in life there are going to be terrifying things, but the only way to overcome them is to do them. And so I want you to think of, what does this month look like for you in goals? Goals are a good thing. Again, it's a checklist, it's accountability, it's moving forward in what you want for your dreams, your goals, or what this looks like. If you're like, I just want to get my products paid for, great, we can help you. And that means 3 people. We can help you get those 3 people. We can vision cast of, okay, well, let's get 3 events up. Let's get an event at least for you up. Let's look and see who's in your organization that maybe hasn't had an event up. And again, events you don't have to do. Like, none of this you have to do, guys, but we have seen success by doing them, which is why we do them. But if you see success in like, hey, I want to try something different, great, try it. It might be the next thing that is successful. We don't know. We just have to keep trying. So events are one thing we have seen great success with. And so I usually try to get a brand new person an event up as soon as possible, because that's when they're the most excited. That's when they're ready to get their products paid for. And that's when they want to put that community in and whatnot. So it's that. It is whatever you want. If you're like, oh my gosh, I want to stay on my fast start journey. Fast start means Plexus offers more bonuses when within your 30 days, you grab your 3 people, you get a fast start bonus for silver, but then your sponsor also gets a fast start. So like, let's say you have a brand new person and you just sign them up and you're like, okay, well, I don't know all these rules. That's okay. Just know when you have a brand new person, get an event up for them as soon as possible. If they have their 3 people within 30 days, then you get a fast start bonus as well. And so that just means, let's say they just want to stay VIP. Great. Then those people are still going to be there in your organization. Let's say they don't upgrade to an ambassador. When they upgrade to an ambassador, that's mean they get income instead of product credit. They get income that way. And so that's the only difference on that. And so once they hit ambassador, if they're like, okay, I'm ready to, I have 3 people lined up, I'm ready to make some money and get my products paid for this way, they click on ambassador. That's the first day that their 30 days starts to hit fast start. So I always tell people, get your 3 people ready, then let's start your fast start. Because when they hit silver, then you have 30 days. That just is like calendar months of the next fast start bonus of, senior silver, gold, and then senior gold. And you can go all the way for fast start. It's just quickly moving that needle. So what excites you about this month that you're like, okay, Cassie, I know it's scary. I know I'm afraid. I don't know if I'm going to hit it because I feel like I'm going to fail. But what is going to happen this month? Because I'm unashamedly going to just pronounce it and say it out loud now. What does that look like for you this month?
I'm going to be Ruby.
Okay. And tell people what Ruby means, if you remember. I love it.
I have to get to 500 ranking points.
Correct.
I'm going to grow my team.
Correct.
And I'm going to help them encourage others I'm going to help them share basically and bless others. So that's what that means to me. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And really that's it. And that's how we call it duplication. That's how the duplication starts, because yes, you can add all day long. You can keep adding people and be extremely wide, and that's fine, but it kind of gets daunting and you get a lot when you have too many people to help take care of, when you're not teaching somebody. It's like our kids. If you're not teaching them, they're not going to pass down your legacy that you're leaving them. And that's kind of the same in this area. Is another way to look at it, is like, okay, what am I teaching my kids so that they can then teach their kids? Same thing to me. Okay. So helping her team, and she's going to be Ruby. All right. Who else? Cindy, I'm going gold. Yes. Okay. So Cindy, here's what I love about this. You double ranked last month. Let me just showcase what happened, right? And I'm going to get to Jennifer too. So you went double. That means you went silver and senior silver in 1 month, which means you got double fast start bonuses. Your sponsor got double fast start bonuses. That ends up, I mean, I'm probably way off on money, but let's just say about $300 or more of bonuses, not commission, not anything else, because Plexus pays us so many more times. Other than that, you just got, it's like a package. You upgraded your package and you got all the extra bonuses. And so I am super proud of you. And I could for sure see you go gold because you had that excitement and your people saw that excitement. And then they are excited and they shared and whatnot. We're doing the Deep Puff Challenge and everything too. So what does that look like for you to continue that? And if you have questions, we can help you. But a lot of it is pretty much what you're already doing. Just keep helping people help people. Is there anything else that you want to add, Cindy? I don't know if you can talk or not. And don't be ashamed to show your face if you're in your robe. Like I'm in my robe half the time too, just saying. So you added one today. See? Holy moly. But here's the thing. When you add one, you add one and teach one, like you teach her to add one, or you teach her, and this is the wording that I say. And this is the one thing that I've learned from corporate is like, I'm going to use your name, Cindy. Hey, Cindy, before you even get your products in, I would hate for me not to say this, but I never want finances to get ever in the way of your health journey. We know how that is. If you are open to me sharing how you can get your products paid for so that finances never get in the way, I would love to share that with you. Boom. And so doing it so lightly like that, helping your person see that potential right off the bat is better than doing it later. And they're like, why didn't you tell me 3 months ago? Or why didn't you tell me that last month? Yeah, that would have been so helpful before they cancel or before they leave or whatnot. Always tell people right when they sign up. Could you imagine how many people, if they got their products paid for before their products even came? That's incredible. So that's, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking with Cassie and Jennifer both, I was going to talk to them sometime about getting events up for their people, because I feel like that's the best way to start, is just to make them like basically, and Jennifer and Cassie and Cindy, you both probably felt the same way. Like whenever I reached out to you and said, hey, let's get an event up so we can share this, because this information, it's not a business that we're sharing with people. It's a life-changing opportunity. It's a gift. And that's one thing that I always, whenever I sign anybody up, I'm always like, I want to get an event for you because I want to share this with your friends and family. And if they decide they want to do this, then we can use your referral site, and that will help you to be able to get your products paid for. And I think most people are pretty open to that, in the sense of just being willing to be like, oh, well, that sounds cool. And I like this information. So I'm sure a few of my friends would too. So those are things I think that would be really good opportunities that we can chat about too.
Yep.
I'd love to make it to senior silver this month.
Ooh, yeah.
I've got a few people in mind. I know my sister-in-law is going to sign up, so I've got one already. But I was thinking, Julia, with the events, I think my niece might be up for one. Because she's got the triplex. She's going from the Deep Puff Challenge, which she started like a week late, Cassie, but she's still doing it. She's doing real good on it. And I've been checking up on them. But I think she would be one to do an event like we did with me and Teresa. I think that would be cool.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
And I think that's when you've been in one, it's easier to tell people what it's like. And you're like, hey, it's the same one that you saw me do and they were involved in or whatnot. And then just say exact same content. Let's get one up. And I almost don't give them a yes, or like I don't give them a no. Be like, hey, Julia, next thing now is I am excited to do an event for you. How does Wednesday at 8 p.m. work for you? And it's where we can get the information out the exact same way that you were just in. I get to do that for your friends and family. Does that time work for you? Boom. Super simple. Really, you could almost go back and kind of see how Julia and them said it to you that sparked your interest, and then go from there and use that same. But yeah, Jennifer went silver last month and she just started too. Like, it's just simple. I'm so happy for her. It was so awesome watching I will tell you, our silver chat is probably the most exciting it's been in a long time. Like, I'm loving the energy. I'm loving everything that's happening in there and how excited you guys are. So don't stop that. Like, share away. If you see a podcast or something that you're like, I just listened to this encouragement YouTube, share it in there, because I promise you, it might be hitting somebody that needs to hear it that day and you have no idea. Like, I posted about today, like, I'm having a hard day today. And so many people, I'm not just exaggerating, so many people are like, girl, me too. Thank you. I'm glad that you said that we have permission to rest, because I feel like in a busy world, we feel like we have to always be going. And no, like, God calls Sabbath for a reason, and you need to take a mental rest sometimes. And so know that that's valid. Don't stay in rest. That's the big difference, is if you stay in rest and sulk in rest, then you're never going to move in rest. So
Cassie, I found it funny that your post and my post kind of intertwined.
I didn't see her. Hang
I
on.
would say. It was earlier. It's like I posted it like first thing this morning, but it had a lot to do with rest and peace. Funny.
Oh yeah. See, I didn't even see this one. Okay, I'll have to look at it in a minute. See, it's everybody. Like, everybody's feeling it. Go ahead, share.
Okay, so my small goal this month is senior gold. My big goal is Ruby, because me and Julia are going to walk across the stage at convention.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now, I will say, don't hit the messenger if they don't do stage for Ruby. Okay. Because I'm like, they've only done that a few times for Ruby, but doesn't mean that they aren't. I'm just saying that I would hate for you to go and then you get disappointed because that didn't happen. So just know. But
we'll go across the street regardless.
Oh yeah. I was about to say another alternative, but you already,
even if they don't want us to.
Right. You get your fancy dresses glitter. They got to be
Right.
glitter, girls. I'm telling you. And if not, we're going to go up there right at the end where people go take pictures, and we're going to be like, I'm going to get y'all
I'm on
going across
stage.
that stage.
I'm on stage.
If they don't do it, I'm not saying that they will. I'm just saying if that doesn't happen, because we have gotten so big, that was my fear of
Yeah.
like, I'm seeing the potential of things going down, because I'm already seeing that only people that have sustained Emerald for so many months are now even going on, like they're lowering it because we've gotten so big, which is great. But it's like, I think if they had more people on the stage, it might collapse. So I don't know how they're going to do that. But there are ways that we are going to celebrate both of you, because you will be going Ruby. So
It's like that leaders retreat when they were rushing us off the stage.
yes. Like, get off, hurry. Yes. Y'all missed that, but that was so funny because we were all trying to get good pictures, and I think they could see like it kind of like, and so they were like, get off now. Oh. Anyway.
So yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with that. I have Ashley, who's got a fire lit under her again. So I'm pushing for her to go gold.
Okay.
And then I would like to add 4 and have 2 go silver also. And that will help me, with pushing to my goals too. And I was challenged by Cassie to do a Facebook event because I've not done one. I do messenger events is what I do those a lot. And actually my new girl that just signed up on Saturday doesn't have her products yet and has an event Thursday.
Oh, see?
And she was actually on here for a few minutes, but she's like, how long is this gonna last? I gotta get up at 4:00 in the morning.
Oh,
I said, I can send you the recording. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. If you're watching, I'm so grateful that you came. Mwah. I'm excited for you.
So yeah, she's already got an event scheduled. We're doing it Thursday, but it's just a messenger event. because it's familiar. But I want to do, I think you and Hannah did a Facebook event for me when I first signed up. So I've been to like one, but I think what stops me, and could be something that stops other people, but I think what stops me is I hate to ask other people to come on and do lives for me when I don't offer the same thing to them, because it scares me to go and tell my
Cassie,
testimony.
or Shara, I only do 1 or 2 lives in the last few that I've done, and it's either been me or Cassie, and one of us opens and one of us closes, and all the rest of them are picture testimonies and then product information.
Yep.
If that helps.
Yeah, because I think the one that we did with me, that you guys did for me when I first started, there was several people that actually went live at certain times in there. And I just hate to ask people to do lives for me when I don't do it back for them. You just, that's just, I will be doing them, but
yes. And it could be the hiccup in your road though, of why maybe if you did a Facebook event for her instead, it could be what takes off even more. Because I will say when we did it months, like a year ago, we all went live because we knew how important lives were. Like when you're watching somebody live, it really is powerful. And so we only did like 1 or 2 posts, maybe 3. And then the rest were like no more than 3 lives. So it would be like you, me, Julia. And we would go in our chat and we'd be like, hey, who is free tonight or tomorrow at 7 p.m.? I'm needing 1 more live. And if you don't get anybody, that's fine. Just post a video. We've got so many video testimonies. You can post one of those that you're sharing in the messenger event. And so it's simple. And I think I'll ask. So Jennifer and Cindy, you both you were in events. What did you like about being in a Facebook event?
I didn't, because I didn't like doing my first video. I hated it.
But you did so good. You did a really good job.
But what I liked it was just the opportunity just to share what these products have been doing. I have been a little disappointed. I feel like people just aren't reaching out to me like I hoped they would with my story, especially with the weight that I've been losing. But I know it'll come. It'll come.
I always tell people, think of it this way. When we see something brand new, we're like, that cup looks really cool. Is the Yeti really worth it? Like, I'm just going to watch other people and see, because we all know in their reviews, people are going to start finding the flaws and whatnot. So they'll keep watching everybody post about the Yeti until one day their bestie gets it and finally tells you, girl, it's time to buy the Yeti or whatever. And people have to see things more than 8 times to really invest in anything. And you would feel like, but I just was vulnerable and I just shared everybody that I've lost all this weight, that people would be running to you. But it's sometimes they're hesitant because how many times, it took me 2.5 years of watching Plexus to even finally decide to do it. And so could you imagine how many times I saw Plexus? Way more than the average person that joins. And so I think the more that you keep being vulnerable and the more that you keep sharing that way, know that people are watching. They don't ever want to comment, which baffles me. It really does. But I get messages that I'm like, I didn't even know we were still friends. Okay, great. You're ready. All right, perfect. And I will tell you, and I'm probably right about on this percentage, about 90% have never commented or never liked my stuff. Never.
I just had a couple reach outs in the last few days from people I had no idea were even watching my stuff.
Right.
Like I was just like, oh, that's interesting. Like I just didn't foresee it coming, but people it's almost like they think if you see them like your comment that you're going to call them and be like, hey, I need you to be on this. Like they're just super afraid, for some reason. But I think the other thing too is just the fact that they don't grasp the magnitude of what these products can do, like you and I do now, who have been using them. And until they get to the point where they're willing, and I think pain points, which I don't remember, we talked about in the book study, pain points is one of those things that they talk about are like points that really trigger somebody individually. And a lot of that is where you're going to find your people. So if you post a testimony that posts about, like, for example, ADHD, we don't have very many of those, but the one that I posted, I have a friend of mine whose son struggles with that. And that was the one that triggered her to reach out to me. Like, it's going to be those points that people really are like, oh my gosh, that's me, you know, and then they're going. So you may just, with your people, just haven't gotten to their real pain point yet. So until they can see some of that.
Yep. Agree. And
and a suggestion from me, this might be just the quality person in me because I work in quality. Make sure we don't say heals or anything like that, because there's a few times just my own testimony, Plexus has actually sent me an email, told me to take it off Facebook.
Right.
So what is the word that you used?
Heal.
No, I didn't even use heal.
Oh.
I don't ever use heal. I always say it has helped my ulcerative colitis go in remission. I've never said anything, but I think it's mainly because ulcerative colitis is a medical term. Inflammation. I got hit on inflammation from that challenge, trying to post about that challenge. So inflammation is a diagnosis. So anything with diagnosis, be careful how you word it, or you're gonna get hit with compliance issues.
Yep.
So,
and a
just
lot
a heads
of
up, I had like 5.
Now on those, were they public
And I was like,
posts?
what?
Were they public posts?
Yes.
See? And so here's where I tell people, like, don't be like, oh, what am I going to post now? Because people get afraid of like not being able to post then, right? So I will tell you, I still share stuff that I feel like needs to be more private, that Plex isn't going to come after me. It sounds bad, but they're there for good reasons. They're trying to keep our jobs and to keep Plexus up. And so when we say things publicly that are like, hey, this could heal your ulcerative colitis, this can treat your like things like that, they're like, well, no. If we claim that, we can get sued. So you just have to be careful. So I personally do not share a lot of things publicly. That's just a setting in Facebook. I share things more with friends only. And the things that I do publicly are more things I don't have to worry about. Like, you just have to think what's a medical term, like, chronic fatigue. I won't post that I had chronic fatigue. I'll just say I was so exhausted or I was so tired that I couldn't get off the floor for half the time. You just rewording things that people can understand what you're talking about without saying the word.
Right.
Hopefully that'll help.
And that's what I've had to learn. Too. So I make all my posts public because I am such an introvert that I don't have very many friends on Facebook until I started Plexus, and I started just adding people because I didn't want nobody in my business.
Right.
But I have started going more public because now I've got people watching me, because like on your stories, you can see who has watched you, and I'll get people that have watched me that I'm not friends with. So just by keeping stuff public. But I didn't realize, I thought I was doing okay by not saying it healed, because I didn't say it healed. I said it helped me, and which of course it did. But then I'm like, okay, I need to reword that. Yes. I need to, just find my words better, is all. But keep posting. So for me, ever since I started, that's one thing I could say I'm very consistent on, is posting. I always post, no matter what. I post, whether it's Plexus, whether it's whatever. And kind of like Julia and Cassie were saying, I don't get a lot of likes. I don't get a lot of comments. But majority of my people that I have added and who have stayed are people that are watching. So continue to post. You don't get discouraged because nobody is running to you. Cassie will tell you too, I've almost quit twice. One was because I thought the products weren't working and I was very skeptical. The second one was I was doing everything I was doing all the things, as Cassie says.
Yeah.
But I was doing everything. I was posting, I was reaching out, I was doing everything, but I was getting frustrated because nobody was coming to me. Nobody was wanting to sign up. And so, I mean, I've talked to Cassie and Hannah several times about some of it. And so I just let it ride and then realized, oh, I was planting seeds, because like that next month, I like blew up from planting those seeds. And then for taking the products wise, because honestly, I started on an energy challenge and I only added my first 3 people because I heard I was going to get money. I didn't know anything. That's seriously, it was energy. I didn't even know Plexus was a gut health company, which I needed. Had no idea. It was just energy. And my mother-in-law was like, hey, I'm joining this challenge. You want to join with me? And I was like, yeah. So anyways, I joined for that and just for the extra money. And then just started posting. And Cassie, like you said, with the posts from a couple, now that I've been doing it for like 2 years, I'm getting memories coming up. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
oh no, I posted that.
It gets better. But again, when you have to think like a baby or a toddler walking or getting in trouble because they're throwing things around the house, they have to learn. And that's us. Like we have to learn how our posting style is. And the only way to do that is to do it and to just keep learning as you grow. So. And
Cassie,
yeah.
Sorry. No, I was just going to say real quick question about verbiage.
Yeah.
There's been multiple times where I've said the supplements allow your body to heal from the inside out. Is that not allowed? Okay. Because I mean, technically, I'm not saying that the supplements heal you. I'm saying that it allows your body to do it. So, but it's still, they don't want it to say that.
I would just be cautious on the heal word at all and just say these supplements help your body start from the inside, work on the inside out, or get to the root of the issue from the inside out, or things like that.
Okay.
Yep. And then I posted.
They're coming out, like we've seen at Leaders Retreat, they are coming out with this YES program. I think they're still working on it, and it's great verbiage for us to use to help get away from that, because I think that's what they're trying to do, is help everybody, because I'm guessing maybe they're seeing a lot more of it, but we'll let you know.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that I liked about Leaders Retreat is they're going to try to get us where we're all on the same page and we're all posting the same. I mean, we're all going to have our uniqueness, right? But we're on the same level of posting compliantly or posting in a way that is yes for success. So it's a logo. We're going to find out at convention. I hope all of you are there. So yes for success, and it's going to be probably announced more there, because I have a feeling that's where they're going to take it off and tell everybody about it, because they have more people in a room. But they're going to be giving us testimonies. There'll be like our Plexus ambassador page will have all branded testimonies that we'll be able to use, that won't say heal or whatever, but it'll be somebody's testimony that is proof that these products helped them. So, and it'll show what they use, because how many testimonies were like, well, what did they use? Was it Triplex? Was it Metaburn? Was it Edge? Was it like, what was it? And so it'll have all of that information. Now that's all that we know that we found out at Leaders Retreat. So I'm hoping more will come out soon. So. Okay. I don't want to keep everybody, because it's been an awesome call, and I know we're running way behind, and I try to keep this under an hour, and we're over an hour. But the last thing that I want to say is that just keep posting, keep doing what you're doing, because the fruit and the progress and everything that you're moving forward and doing scared now, you will see fruit in 90 days. They say that, like, it just takes time. So I feel like, think of when you plant a seed doesn't grow overnight. A seed has to gradually get bigger and gradually get to where it sees the sun and grows. That's kind of our business. That's everything that we do. So every post that you make plants a seed in somebody that's watching. Every live that you do plants a seed in somebody that maybe is like, oh, my friend suffers from that. It just keeps planting seeds. And I promise, when you slow down, it slows down the growth of that too. So just keep going the course, keep doing everything daily, so that you start seeing that fruit in 90 days. Because what you do now will set what your business will look like in July. And July is usually our huge big month. And so, because July is where we have the cutoff for Emerald. And so if you want to go to Hawaii, July is the cutoff for that. So that's why July is really big. I'm just saying.
You got it, Shara.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're all gonna be there.
And so another
July
thing,
last year was
go ahead.
July last year is actually when I hit gold.
It's okay, because look at you now. We all have to go. I feel like, you know, I haven't
I'm at
hit
gold still.
that's what I'm saying, but that's okay.
But I finally hit it.
Exactly. I mean, you guys, I went Emerald in 2019. It just, everybody has their seasons for a reason. And so we just have to keep moving that needle, because again, the moment that we stop, we don't see that growth. And so you just have to keep going and know that God has a bigger purpose for us, because when we stop, then we can't see that bigger purpose. We don't know what he's called us for if we stop in that calling.
You said July was the
July.
cutoff.
July's the cutoff. So July is usually a huge rank up month, because that's where a lot of, because what we're doing now will set the tone for July. The last thing that I was going to say is there is a Emily Gibson video. I'm going to share that if it hasn't been shared or you haven't seen it yet. It's another one that you can watch for growth, for personal development, because she got her husband Sapphire. Sapphire is like right before Diamond. And he wasn't that close. He was close to it, but not that close. It's a lot of growth to go from where he was to Sapphire. And so I'll post that video. She's got tips and stuff in there. I have not watched it yet, but I've heard great things about it. And Emily Gibson is amazing at sharing good, amazing content. So I'll put that in our thread so we can watch that for our personal development. Again, you can watch whatever video you want to. I just share in case you want to watch the ones that I'm watching. But keep doing what you're doing and know that there will be fruit, and dive into things. And if you have questions, holler at us, but utilize everything Plexus has to offer. Start looking at their calendar, because if I might miss something or forget to remind you, Plexus has it right there. Sign up for the text messages, get that so you can get the reminder of when the next Motivational Monday call or the next Testament, the calls are, because they're all the time. They're incredible. So y'all have any questions?
We haven't heard from Patricia or you.
Oh, yeah. Patricia, what's your goal this month? I'm so sorry. Thank you, Shara.
That's okay. I'm hitting gold this month.
Yeah, you are. No.
I'm gonna hit it.
You're going above gold this month.
I'm going above gold this month. I'm gonna sign up everybody and their moms, and they're gonna all do events.
Yes.
And they're all gonna add one, at least one.
Yes, they will.
Everybody's gonna add one. And the people who aren't adding or don't want to share or don't want to do the business, they're going to give me their referrals.
Yes. So how are you going to help them add one? Are we doing events and we're doing everything?
Yes, we're going to do events. We're going to do messenger threads. We're going to do live sip and sees. We're going to do, yes, we're doing it. We're doing it all.
I want to see when your sip and sees are, because it's happening, girl. And I put you down. You didn't tell me a number, but I'm going ahead and go tell you a number. You're going to hit 200 this month, not just 100. You're going to hit 200 this month, because you're setting yourself up for senior gold.
Yes.
I love your attitude right now, Patricia. It is just, like, I'm just so excited that this is recorded, because you're like, yes, yeah, anybody in their mom, I'm getting them. They're going.
I'm putting it out there. I'm claiming it.
That's right.
And then you're going to go to an hour and 18 minutes, and you're going to re-listen to that so that you can keep believing it when you have moments of doubt, because it'll happen.
Yep. I know it will, but nope, not today.
Not today, not tomorrow, and not close to the end of the month, because we know how the end of the month can get too, right? We're going to keep going.
Yes.
200 points. I put it down. I'm just claiming it for you.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Well, for me,
what about you?
For me, we are not dipping again. I will say, it was kind of a scary moment. I might have panicked for a hot second, and I might have made a couple of orders underneath accounts. Just saying, you can do that. Because so we're not dipping again. and we're going to keep growing. And so my goal is to not just be 1,500 with a tiny buffer, but to, I mean, I would love to hit 1,800 this month and to set us to Sapphire by July. So that's where we're at with events and getting everybody's mom and brother and son and cousin and everybody on the products, because dang, they need to be on it, right? They need to be doing
That's right. Speak it, Cassie.
Yes,
Tell her, Patricia.
exactly. I'm getting your energy.
That's right.
Speak it in the name of Jesus.
That's
Yeah,
right.
amen.
Claim it.
Amen.
Okay, from now on, Patricia's got to come on and start doing that. So the rest of the call, we're like, yeah, let's go. Let's do this.
Agree. Patricia, you're going to be the cheerleader to end our calls and to end our casting vision
It will
call.
be everybody's cheerleaders when I'm not like doing stuff, you know, when I'm in the thread, I'm the one posting that. It's like, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
We used to do it at the beginning of our calls.
Yes.
Because, you know, we're all going to try to go to bed and now we're all hyped up. So at the very beginning,
Right?
I know. You know
It's
what's
still early
crazy?
for me.
Hey, well, it's true. She's in
Right.
California, you guys. So
Yeah.
she is like 2 hours ahead of us, and us night owls are still up. But there was something the other day, and this is when I was like, all right, fine, I'm going to bed. It was on Instagram, and there was a study that most people get another burst of energy at like 10, 11 o'clock. And so that's why most need to go to bed before then. And I'm like, that's probably right. And it probably doesn't help I had an active too. So,
Oh man.
but the moment I saw that, I was like, all right, God, I'm listening, going to bed. And so anyway, I pray everybody gets good sleep. I know that that was exciting because those things are happening. We've got, you know, senior gold ruby, we have above gold, we have ruby, we have, you know, senior silver, we have golds, we have lots of good things, and they're happening because we got the choo-choo and the train Patricia with us. And so it's going to be good. All right. I love you guys.
I love it.
And keep sharing, start events. I want to see dates. I want to see dates in our chats of when you have events going. That's tomorrow's goal. Everybody has to have a goal. So I'm going to be your accountability partner. I want to see dates and when you've scheduled things tomorrow. Okay. And I'll pop that, Jennifer, I'll pop that winning day in the silver chat so you can kind of see what that looks like too.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Mhm.
You're welcome. All right. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.